Chapter 5. Earless. Alan did tell. He did not mean to hurt or ridicule Gwyn, and he only told one person, but that was enough. The one person Alan told was Gary Pritchard. Gary Pritchard told his gang, Mervyn Jones, Dewi Davies and Brian Roberts. Dewi Davies was the biggest tease in the school, and within 2 days everyone in Pendewi Primary had heard about Gwyn Griffiths and his spaceship. Little whispering groups were formed in the playground. There were murmurings in the canteen, and the children watched while Gwyn ate in silence, staring steadily at his plate of chips so that he should not meet their eyes. Girls giggled in the cloakroom, and even 5-year-olds nudged each other when he passed. Gwyn made it easy for them all. He never denied that he had seen a silver ship, nor did he try and explain or defend his story. He withdrew. He went to school, did his work, sat alone in the playground, and spoke to no one. He came home, fed the hens, ate his tea. He tried to respond to his mother's probing chatter without giving too much away, for he felt he had to protect her. He did not want her to know that his friends thought him mad. Mrs. Griffiths sensed there was something, and that something was wrong, and was hurt and offended that her son would not confide in her. He had never shut her out before. And then one evening Alan called. He had tried in vain to talk to Gwyn during their walks home from the bus, but since the gossiping began, Gwyn had taken pains to avoid his old friend. He had run all the way home, passing the Lloyds on the lane, and he should not hear them if they laughed. Mrs. Griffiths was pleased to see Alan. Perhaps he knew something. She drew him into the kitchen, saying, "Look who's here. We haven't seen you for a bit, Alan. Take off your coat." "No." Gwyn leapt up and pushed Alan back into the passage, slamming the kitchen door behind him. "What do you want?" he asked suspiciously. "Just a chat," said Alan nervously. "What's there to chat about?" "About the things you said about the spaceship and that," Alan replied, fingering the buttons on his anorak. "You don't believe, and you told," Gwyn said coldly. I know, and I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk about it." Alan sounded desperate. "You want to spread more funny stories, I suppose?" No, Alan said. "I just wanted to—" "You can shove off," said Gwyn. He opened the front door, pushed Alan out to the porch. He caught a glimpse of Alan's white face under the porch lantern and shut the door. "I'm busy," he called through the door, "so don't bother me again." And he was busy. He and Arianwen, every night, she spun a web in the corner of Gwyn's attic bedroom, and between the end of the sloping ceiling and the cupboard there would always be something there in the web. A tiny faraway landscape, white and shining, strange trees with icy leaves, a lake, or was it a sea, with ice floes bobbing on the water, and a silver ship with sails like cobwebs gliding over the surface. And when he ran his fingers over the silver pipe, he could hear waves breaking on the shore. He could hear icicles singing when the wind blew through the trees, and children's voices calling over the snow. And he knew, beyond any shadow of doubt, he was hearing sounds from another world. Once Arianwen spun a large cobweb covering an entire wall. The white tower appeared, and the same houses. Children came out to play in the square beneath the tower. Pale children with wonderfully serene faces. Not shouting as earthbound children would have done, but calling in soft musical voices. It began to snow, and suddenly they all stood still. and turned to look in the same direction. They looked right into the web. They looked at Gwyn and they smiled, and then they waved. It was as though someone had said, "Look, children, he's watching you. Wave to him." And their bright eyes were so inviting. Gwyn longed to be with them, to be touched and soothed by them. But who had told the children to turn? Gwyn realised he had never seen an adult in the webs, never heard an adult's voice. Who was looking after the faraway children? Perhaps they had seen the thing that was sending the pictures down to Arianwen's web. A satellite, perhaps? Or a ship? Another star? Or another spider whirling around in space? And they turned to wave to it.